Hi, this video will show you how you calculate the various cost definitions with an example. So see the previous video on how to calculate marginal productivity and average productivity where these numbers were determined. In this video, we're going to focus on the cost definitions. So this example is as follows. You have a production function, which is output is determined based on your capital and your labor inputs. You have 6 units of capital provided. The rental price per unit of capital is $10, and the wage rate is costing you $20 you're paying each worker. So let's fill in this first column of total variable cost. My suggestion is you pause the video here and see if you can calculate this total variable cost on your own before you see the answers. Okay, welcome back if you had just paused the video. When you have no workers, what's your variable cost to hire no workers? Well, that's correct. You don't pay anything to hire no workers. So there's your variable cost of 0. When you hire your first worker, what's your total variable cost? Well, you've got to pay that worker $20. So $20 is our variable cost to hire one worker. What's the variable cost to hire 2 workers? Well, that would cost you $40. So that's a 40. 3 workers, that would cost you $60. And 4 workers, now we're talking $80. So there's your total variable cost. Now, what's your total cost? Well, recall the definition of total cost. Total cost is your fixed cost, yes, plus your variable cost. That is what total cost is equal to. So what's our fixed cost? Well, we have 6 units of capital, which you have to rent them for $10 each. So that's $60. So I would suggest pausing the video now and see if you can calculate the total cost column. Let's do it together. When we have no workers, your total cost, well, you have no variable cost. However, a common mistake is to put 0 here for your total cost. That's wrong. You still have to pay your fixed cost to rent your 6 units of capital. So that's a total cost of $60. What's your total cost to make 12 units of output with 1 worker? Well, that would be your variable cost of $20 plus your fixed cost of $60. So now we're talking $80. What's your total cost to make 28 units of output with 2 workers? Well, you're paying your workers $40. You're still paying your capital $60 to rent the 6 units of capital. So this would be $100. What's total cost producing 42 units? $120. Total cost to make 54 units? $140. Next, let's find the average fixed cost. Average fixed costs are simply your fixed cost divided by Q. Once again, I would pause the video and see if you can calculate this column before you see the answers. Welcome back. If you just paused the video, our fixed cost, again, is 60. We're going to divide that by 12 to get this average fixed cost. 60 divided by 12 is 5. Next, when you have 28 units produced, what's the average fixed cost? That would be 60 divided by 28, or a little more than 2. What's the average fixed cost when you have 3 workers making 42 units of output? And again, another 60 divided by your output here, 42. You could simplify this, or put the decimal in. I don't care. Either way is correct. Finally, what's the average fixed cost when you have 54 units of output produced? Well, now it's a little over 1. 60 over 54. All right, next, average variable cost. See if you can calculate ABC on your own before you see the answers. So, average variable cost, what is it? That's our variable cost, again, divided by output, Q. So, here, when we have 1 worker making 12 units of output, well, the variable cost is 20. And we're dividing that by our units of output, 12. So this would be 20 over 12. Next, what's the ABC to make 28 units of output? Well, our variable cost is 40, and we're going to divide that by 28. Again, you can put this in your calculator and get a decimal form, or you can simplify it. How about when you have 42 units of output? Well, our variable cost here is 60, and that's going to be divided by 42. Finally, what's the ABC when you have 40 workers making 54 units of output? That's going to be 80 is the variable cost. 80 is going to be divided by 54. Next, let's find average total cost. Again, pause it, see if you can calculate this number. Well, this is your total cost, which is 80, divided by how much output you have, or 12. Recall that ATC is TC divided by Q. A second way you could find ATC is simply add AFC plus ABC to get you ATC. So what is it here? It's going to be 60 over 28 plus 40 over 28. That's 100 divided by 28, or about 4. What is it here? This is going to be 120 divided by 42. And what is it here? This is going to be 140 divided by our output, 54. Finally, let's do marginal cost and be done with the sheet. Marginal cost, recall the definition, it's the change in total cost over the change in output. This is the one that most students will miss in this exercise. So what's the marginal cost here? Well, how does your total cost change? Your total cost increased by 20. How does your output change? Well, your output was 0, now it's 12. That's an increase of 12. Let's do another one. Okay, pause the video and see if you can calculate this number. Okay, welcome back. If you just paused it, how does our total cost change? Well, it increased by 20. How is our output changing? It increased by 16. So that's your MC, 20 over 16. How about for this third box? Well, our total cost again increased by 20. Output increased here by 14. Finally, this last marginal cost box, and then we're done. Cost, again, increasing by 20. Output, increasing by 12. So you should be able to calculate every box in this worksheet. You will see similar calculations on your homework, and you should expect to see similar calculations for your test.